Welcome back, friends! Today we are making a cozy little ramen shop in the new game, Make Room. Just came out a few days ago. As you can see, what I'm doing is creating some custom objects to put in our restaurant to create some atmosphere. This is going to be a little water pitcher, similar to the style they have in Japan. I also wanted to give some context as to why I was inspired to do a ramen shop. I used to live in Japan when I was in middle school. I lived there for 3 years. I went to a local school there with a bunch of Japanese kids. And so this was pretty nostalgic for me to look at the reference images, reminisce and stuff. What I'm making here is a little tray with some condiments, chopsticks, tissues, very common thing you'll see in this kind of place. When I was 15, there was this little ramen shop that was tucked away into an alleyway. You know, like a 10-minute walk from one of the nearest train stations to my house. I used to go there with my dad, and he would get this garlicky, spicy tonkotsu ramen, and then my mom would be like, "Stay away from me because you smell." And it was funny and it made me laugh. That's kind of, just to stew in those memories is the reason why I wanted to do this. It was a fun trip down memory lane doing this. This tissue box was especially hard to do because I thought that there was some sort of papery looking something or other in my materials, and I guess there wasn't. I cut out a lot of it, but I tried all sorts of different things to make it look right. I ended up going with these flowers that I just flattened, made white. Sort of gives you the right vibe, I think. And it's not immediately obvious because you can't texture any of these things really. They're all just flat, matte, boring-ish stuff. But those two little cylindrical guys are like hot pepper flakes and soy sauce. I also made these noren. They're noren, but they're the specific kind that you see separating the kitchen from where the people are eating in these ramen shops. They say ramen on them. That was an interesting challenge, was trying to write the words here. It actually worked out pretty well. I'm surprised by how smoothly the process went. That it is legible. I made these at a few different heights. You don't see it here, but I made some that were at the first level, so the ground level. That way you could put them on the wall and then adjust them wherever you want. And then I made some that were already up high so that they would just easily slot onto the partition in the restaurant. Some of that I had to do after the fact. And then I made a plain version that was just blue. Obviously you could change the color. So these will all be up on the Steam Workshop. I will put the link to that in the description. So if you would like to use any of these objects, feel free, download them, do whatever you want with them, I don't care. So finally we're getting into making the actual room, and I have some bad news that after this point, I lost some of the footage. And by lost, I mean I thought I was recording and I wasn't. So some of the structural stuff is missing, but let me tell you, it was kind of a pain to get everything to sit straight and flat on top of each other, so maybe it's okay that that's not there anymore. I sort of did this outer facade to make it look like perhaps this was in some sort of multi-functional building, like shop at the bottom, apartments on top, something like that. Very common in Japan, especially in Tokyo, which is the area that I lived. So now you can see we've jumped in to making the kitchen. I put down some counters. I wanted them all to look metallic. Unfortunately, I couldn't put any backsplash. I feel like that's something that they should add, is some way to make multiple wallpaper colors, because having it just be the 2 walls that you chose was sometimes annoying to work around, especially on the outside. I wanted it to look like a different place. Later on, I'll put bricks out there, but for the time being, it just looks like wood, and that's a little bit immersion breaking, unfortunately. If you're seeing some assets that you don't recognize from the game, like the cash register, those are from the Steam Workshop. I'm sure you could just look them up and find them. If any of you guys want some of those assets that aren't in the game, just drop a comment. I will message you with the link. I also wanted to add some of those signature posters. So you can see I'm putting the Noren up, and above it I'm going to put these blank posters. But unfortunately, they don't have any that look like they're signed in any way. I wish we could do custom posters. I guess maybe they're afraid that someone would draw something inappropriate and then post it to the workshop. That's just the way it is. That's just the way of the world. Oh, same thing with that alarm clock and like the little Hatsune Miku figurine that's sitting on the counter space over there. Those are also from the Steam Workshop. The alarm clock is fun because it comes customizable, which just means you have to sit there and manually change all the numbers. But that's pretty useful. And if you were doing something like really crazy, such as making a escape room style mystery diorama, then that could definitely be a good way to hide a clue or something like that. So I don't know, whatever your heart desires. The game is so fresh that like I haven't seen anyone do these kinds of things, so it's really exciting. Now we're finally putting our custom objects up. I just love them! I'm so proud of myself. Like those little tray tables, they look so real. Aw, it makes me nostalgic for Japan. I went to Tokyo and Kyoto recently with my husband for our honeymoon, and we had a great old time. Food, delicious as always. I would expect nothing less, and I miss it. When I lived in Japan, I honestly didn't enjoy the experience all that much, but I think that was more my age. You know, I was 13 to 16 when I was there. So, you know, like nothing was ever gonna be good for me at that age. And then it was made more complicated by, you know, being in a Japanese school and kind of feeling lonely, not being able to speak the language super well, not being able to read at all. And then like having no one to hang out with outside of school. You know, it took me a while to get over that. Longer than probably I should admit. Just trust me. I was not having a good time, but when we went back recently, I was like, oh, I've missed this. In my heart, I've missed this more than I realized. Yeah, and I want to go back to Japan again. We're talking about going soon if we can save up some money for it. You know, we live in a crappy apartment for the purpose of being able to do stuff like that, so it better be worth it. And speaking of what's worth it, I think it would be pretty worth your time. Just a couple seconds to like and subscribe. if it strikes your fancy. If you would like to see more content like this, I would love to know that you support the channel. Please drop a like, drop a comment. I will engage with you. I love talking to the people in the comments. Share this with anyone that you feel fits the intersection of likes Japan and likes Make Room or other cozy games. This will also be available for download on the Steam Workshop, as well as all the assets that it comes with. So that would be those ramen bowls and the tray tables. And then I will provide, like I said, I'll provide links to the other things. I do not want you to feel abandoned in this process. I hope you like the little story moment of the dishes in the sink and the stuff cooking. I love the effects in this game. The effects just make everything look more real. It's really cool. There is also a little cat and mouse that are kind of hanging out outside that I think is pretty cute. Yeah, I'm just super pleased with this build, and I would love to do more stuff like this. So if anyone has any ideas of things they would like to see from this channel, I would love to make your dreams come true. I will go all in. I will make custom furniture. I will do the whole 9 yards. I'm trying to build skills here, and my skills is like fake blender, I guess. I put the tire in that pan and made it look like meat because I just thought it'd be funny if there was a tire fire in here. Something has to be set on fire. I don't know if I can like resist making a build and then not setting something on fire. I'm also pretty proud of those little gyoza at the corner of the counter. I think those are super cute. And I know this place looks small, but I promise you, there are a lot of places in Japan that are this small. I honestly wish I could have put more posters on the wall, but I was expecting there to be more poster options, and there were not. I think if I would like to see anything from future updates, I hope there are future updates. Please tell me there are. If I want to see anything from future updates, it is some more options for those posters and picture frames. I want to see like advertisements, stuff like that, or at least some kind of paint feature or photo import feature, because maybe it would mess with the aesthetic, but it just feels super limited. Like the things that they do have are not very versatile. Maybe they're good for houses and stuff, but they're not very good for commercial space. You can see me here putting the upper countertops on, and I had to like move so much stuff around to do this. This is the case with a lot of things in Make Room, is it's a little bit janky. Like I cut out some stuff, but I was trying forever to like put those glass pieces back, but everything has to stack on top of each other. I don't know. You can see I'm trying to do some texturing on the walls out there. It's the best we can do with what we have. Let's cross our fingers and hope that we get some more features that will make that process a little bit smoother. So here we go into the ramen shop. It's completed at last. We have, I mean, isn't this just adorable? It brings me so much joy to see this realized in this game, and it's so satisfying to make your own objects, so I highly encourage you, just give it a try. It's a little frustrating at first, but sometimes the best things in life are things that are difficult. I hope this has transported you into the cozy atmosphere of this ramen shop. I hope you can smell the steam of cooking meat and hear the clatter of utensils. And most of all, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, please give it a like, and talk to us down in the comments below. Hopefully you will be exploring this more in the future. I would love to make your ideas come to life. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.